you uncomfortable.
I updated
Close
our
your
new
Titties.
opener and made it all
Isn't
pretty.
that the same
hello,
thing?
everybody.
Titties and boobies are two different things.
Oh my God!
Hi,
How
friends.
can the
I don't-
conversation
I didn't
stray
know
so
that we were
far?
already starting.
I just started singing and it went from there, and I didn't realize we were going into it quite that fast.
How
Yeah, we don't
can-
ever get into it quite that fast.
How can the
That's weird.
conversation switch so?
We didn't get a
quickly?
countdown.
Titties, small and pointed. Boobies, big and
There you
round.
go.
In case you were wondering the difference. Your
Okay,
education.
but what about there's two types
Okay.
of
Okay.
Duke's pulling it.
We can. Our new podcast.
Yeah, if there was
We'll
any
explain
chance
in further
of
detail.
monetizing this video in the future, it is gone now.
Oh, you can edit it.
Oh, we just talked about that too. Oh shoot.
I didn't realize we were starting. I am so sorry.
It's off. It's fine.
I'll crawl into a pile of blankets.
There's much worse than those words. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation of Manhattan, the Enlightened episodes. Tonight, what?
I'm Dr. Kennedy.
I hope you're ready. This is centered around you.
How
We'll
did
go
those-
with it, Chris. Just go with it.
How did those switch at the last minute? Live flip-de-doo. There we go. Look at that.
Thanks,
That's
Theodore.
awesome.
If I saw you, I see you.
Hello. And now that we got that ready, tonight's presentation of Manhattan, the Enlightened episodes. Tonight is our first of 5 stories about each of our characters who now have a different perspective on the world around them. The game we are playing is KULT Divinity Lost by Helmgast. I am Curtis, Old Curtis VO on the Twitter, and I am the game master for tonight's story. Before we begin, I'd like to thank all of you out there live on Twitch, or if you're visiting us later on YouTube, you are the reason we do this. Tabletop Roleplay is a group of actors, artists, writers, and gamers, all who love to nerd out on role-playing games, and we really love an audience, so welcome to our theater. Let's meet the players for tonight. I think we were going to start with Sasha.
Hi, my name is Duke, and I play Sasha, the Nocturnal.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, we're going down and around.
Hi. I'm Krista. I'll be playing Blythe the Angel.
My name is Chris Stonecipher. I am playing Dr. Kennedy, the Magician.
My name is Erica, and I will be playing Joel, the Hound.
And my name is Jaylee. I'll be playing Harvey, the Chosen.
Thank you, players. And now we begin episode 1, Mea Culpa, Dr. Kennedy.
Okay.
Boobs are us.
And somehow we are back to boobs.
Uniboobs.
We have to identify the different levels.
Gotta level up.
I don't even want to know.
Don't lie, you do. You really secretly want to know.
Fill you in later.
Yeah,
Sure,
secretly I
he's
do.
dead. A fair share.
This story, tonight's story, starts only days, barely a week, since we left off from Manhattan, the finale. All of our characters have had only a short amount of time to even begin to get used to their new situation, abilities, and limitations, and of course, a completely different point of view about what is real and what is really real. They live in Manhattan, 1990. The real world grinds on endlessly, as it always has to those of us who are now and will be forever imprisoned in it. But to the players, you are all in Manhattan, and what makes you special is that you have the ability to find and sometimes even create doorways into Metropolis and other worlds beyond the illusion. You have individual abilities that use the same divine power to accomplish specific actions, control minds, or to even twist the illusion to your needs. You are enlightened. You can choose to peer through the illusion when you sense its thinness, or just when you choose. And what you might see no longer sends you immediately into your darkest thoughts and fears. There are limitations to your abilities, and that is the difference between the enlightened you are now and awakened with the full power of your divinity, which is what you could become. In the 5 or 6 days that followed the events of your enlightenment, the question I'm going to ask each of you is, what did you do? And of course, if you have any questions about your enlightened abilities and limitations, do you have? And I don't know, Harvey's going to get pulled away. I had him first on my list, but Harvey may
I'm
get
good right now.
Harvey may get pulled away.
So should I go ahead and talk about what he's been up to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, he went ahead and auditioned for the play that he got invited to audition for. He's just had this sixth sense feeling about it that he had no choice but to. He has given everybody, even Dr. Kennedy, a key to his apartment in the Manhattan they are all familiar with, just in case they need an extra place to stay. But he's mostly been spending his time at the Flat Chatters building, because he has been having a little bit of a hard time of it going back into society. The last he was seen in the public eye, he was at a club where Charlie Sheen killed himself, and so he's been getting asked about that quite a bit, followed in public. So he's just trying to readjust. In the meantime, he has tried to help everyone as much as he can. He's gotten Sasha, he like multiple different brands of suntan lotion and sunblock, and tried to see if any of that works. But it didn't. And so he's just been using all of his money to kind of help everybody out. He's gotten Sasha clothes and umbrellas and anything to try to help cover him up. He's taken Joel out to get a gun of her own because she doesn't have a gun of her own, and he wants something for her that is hers. And it's a nice fancy handgun that has a fancy little transcription on it. He's gotten Blythe all new clothes as well, and taken it to his costumer, and Hush Hush under the table got them altered so that her wings can come out without destroying her clothing. And then he's offered Dr. Kennedy funding for future experiments as long as he knows what the experiments are. But other than that, it's just trying to get back in the swing of things. He's gonna try to still do his theater career and see this play through. know if he's heard back or not if he got the part, but he's pretty sure he's gonna get the part if he hasn't.
Right.
So yeah, it's a weird mix of trying to slip back into society, but having to deal with all these questions of Harvey, where have you been? Your car was abandoned near the Trump building. What was that about? You've gotten taller. What happened with Charlie Sheen? And he's just been kind of deflecting all of that.
It's probably likely that you had a good feeling when you left your audition. I
Yeah.
believe that Sasha's immediate events involved a little bit of Harvey as well. Is that right, Sasha?
Well, immediately was Sasha going to Kat or wherever Kat directed him about. I mean, he's kind of freaking out at the thought that he's a vampire. And fortunately, that kind of gets put to rest. Just, I mean, at least in the traditional sense of being a vampire, he quickly figures out he doesn't have to feed on human blood or any of those things. But he does have to be careful in direct sunlight. Something about the change has left that, or has opened that up to be a disadvantage, essentially. But after kind of spending a day and a half figuring that part out, he really spent several days digging into his ability to affect the illusion and how that works, and how far he can take it. He spent some time reading, but really he spent some time practicing alone. Kind of, he made sure that Kat had some available people for him that were also magically inclined, for lack of a better term, and spent a lot of time doing that. It's not that he was ignoring everybody else, but he's basically not around when the sun is up if he can help it, just as a precaution. But about 4 or 5 days into the week, he has Harvey already started rehearsals, or no?
No, not yet.
No? Okay. Sasha finds Harvey and kind of slyly is like, hey, I need to show you something. And then takes off fast. As fast as he can. As fast as Harvey can be. And expects you to chase him.
Yeah, he does.
It takes us a little bit to get there, but we end up outside my apartment building. And I take you by the hand and I lead you up to the rooftop. And there are about 150 candles lit on the rooftop. And there's a glass top table, and you have this big picture in your apartment, like of this flower arrangement. And I've tried to recreate that flower arrangement on the table. And we've only been to one really fancy dinner. And I got us food from Barbetta, which is the restaurant that we went to for that dinner. And there's linguine with clams, and there's salad, and there's sun-dried tomato soup, and there's tiramisu, and there's wine, and there's Sasha wanted to surprise you with a date. So so he we have dinner, and every time Harvey tries to pull the conversation into the world ending, or try to talk about the flak chatters, or try to talk about all of this crazy stuff, I am constantly steering it away from that and trying to keep it fun and funny and romantic. And after drinks and dinner and all of those things, he takes you downstairs to the apartment. And when we get inside the apartment, go to the Discord and look at the picture that I put up as the spoiler.
I did look at it, yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what's this about?
Sasha, he tried to use his abilities with the illusion to alter the apartment, but he figured out that it really doesn't work that way, because change requires work. It's not just something you can snap your fingers and do. And so he also spent a lot of time cleaning and painting and finding really terrible decor, because he wants you to be comfortable in his place too, and not just have to rely on you and your things. So that's what Sasha's done this week.
Yeah, he probably cried a lot and very much appreciates the gesture of all of that. Oh, my heart can't take it either, Erica.
I'm exploding over here in the corner. Like, it's so cute.
Right. I mean, I'm sure Harvey's just been so caught up in trying to get back to some kind of normalcy. And so a gesture like that just kind of throws it all out the window. And it's nice to just have a night to just like focus on Sasha, and he'll stop talking about the Black Chatters pretty quickly, and they're doing good.
This is how I get all of our highlight moments teed up, is by setting up situations like this. So then I'm going to move down to the bottom row. So if you have to step away, Harvey, at any time to go do your family thing real quick, then
I'll be right back. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Okay. Then when I go down to the bottom row, I'm going to start at the other side. And that takes us to Joel. In just the 5 or 6 days that followed the events from our last episode, what has Joel been up to? I will remind you, you still also have access to, everybody has access to the home at the Malkuth building, where the Flag Chatters are. And you, of course, have your home with your safe room and whatever else you had before you went away for the last few days.
Yeah, so the first couple days, Joel was kind of just hanging out, getting some more research done. She didn't really find anything that was worth taking with her or anything that was too substantial. So she kind of teamed up with Blythe, and they decided to get out of Ernie's hair and stop bugging him about his research and getting in the way of his cork boards. So they took all the research off of Joel's board in her bedroom with the Black Chatters, took it back to the safe house. And as soon as we got there, Blythe was most likely probably screaming and yelling about the mess that we had left, because there was blood everywhere. There was like a dead body laying around, just a whole bunch of nasty stuff. So I think the next probably 2 or 3 days were spent cleaning and picking up all the papers in the destroyed office and taking all the evidence down from the first board that she had made for her parents and their death, and is kind of sticking that in a box and reminiscing about how long she had spent trying to find the answers to all of these things, and then just having thrown at her. So there's probably some emotional conversations to go place with those, and Blythe annoying her along the way about normal things that Joel probably is super uncomfortable with. And so they've just been coming up with a plan for how to get back into the temple. So That's probably all that they've managed to accomplish. Probably fucking with Ernie a little bit, taking some of his papers from the Flag Chatters building just to annoy him,
But
and him having to call us to find it.
You've developed an initial ambition to get into Blythe's apartment. The temple, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
And do you still have any continuing thoughts of vengeance or anything
I think
ruminating in the back of your mind?
In her mind, she's more of looking at the two men as chew toys at this point. And when she gets pissed off and is feeling like too pent up and doesn't have anywhere to go with it and is looking for a bit of blood, she probably is keeping tabs on them enough to track them down and re-kill them just for a bit of fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound like a little bit of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Blythe, does this kind of jive along with the days, the 5 or 6 days after the last episode?
Yeah.
Your little partnership here with Joel, you guys have kind of teamed up a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was just natural for us to like become a little team, a little duo, because we're both like pretty close in age, and so we get each other a little bit more than like the others would get us. I know that Blythe would have had to, for lack of a better word, feed again, and I think she would have pushed it until like she had to do something about it. And then so like she tried it on like a conscious person, like she just touched them again and nothing happened. So like it was a little bit of a trial and error type thing. And finally she figured out when she touched a homeless person sleeping on the ground, she figured out, oh, okay, this is how you do it. So she used her wings and she flew like to some random house and got on some random fire escape and climbed in a window. And she took the soul, the life force of some random person, and now they are just dust on the bed.
Sort of living the vampire life.
A little bit. She feels great though. She's having a good time. Like she's
Yep.
She'll like go out and just like nonchalantly like wings out and like make people do like double takes. It's her favorite. And then she'll tell Joel about it and Joel will like freak out on her.
Chastise you and try to make you come up with a different plan.
No. I like them. Yeah.
It sounds like a pretty good time in just a few days after. Everybody seems to be getting along quite smoothly considering everything that you'd gone through. But that's good. And that leaves me then with Dr. Kennedy. Because you, having found yourself in this building, are now with a wealth of information basically at your fingertips. What do you do in the few days?
Oh, I'm prepping my syllabus for the spring semester, obviously.
Yeah.
I think we all forget that Dr. Kennedy teaches at Columbia.
Oh shit! Yeah, I did forget about that.
I did not know that.
We like briefly mentioned it
like 20 episodes ago. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably going to be taking a sabbatical from Columbia for the foreseeable future. He has been delving deep into research, learning as much more about the incantations and the rituals as he learned in 100 Years in Hell. He's set up as best of a direct teleportation circle to and from his home. And just, teleports from his house where all of his research materials were to the Flag Shatter apartment where all of his new research material is, so that he can avoid taking cabs.
Right. No, you can learn how to create a doorway that's like a literal door that either you or anybody that you allow can see, that opens up into the room of your choice.
Neat.
At your home destination.
In addition to that, learning as much about the Flag Shatter organization as possible, and, helping them not beat people to death in order to accomplish their goals.
Right. It's during that research that you, when you are back at the Malkuth building where the Flag Chatters are housed, that you meet a new person that you haven't met yet, because he approaches you while you are in the midst of reading, and it's rather this slick dressed, in a suit, probably mid-30s, very, very clean cut, constant smile on his face. I'm not quite sure if you trust it. It's just kind of one of those guys. He's like a network executive or something type. And his name is Jared Booker. And he introduces himself to you. You must be Dr. Kennedy. Hi, I'm Jared Booker.
Pleasure.
I'm the new supervisor here.
Oh.
With the Flag Chatters. Yeah, how are you doing? You've
Fine.
just joined us recently, isn't that correct?
Yes. What happened to Kat?
Oh, Kat's still here. She's still in charge, as it were. I just handle the day-to-day. The business of the building, as it were.
Wonderful. What do you need?
Well, one of the things that we like to do is sort of keep tabs on the... says my internet is unstable.
I was about to say, if you said anything, I didn't hear you for a good long little while.
All right, so what was your last question?
I said, good. What can I do for you?
Oh yeah, you were just basically, what do you want, huh? The, well, we kind of like to keep tabs on what everybody's doing, as far as what projects you're working on, or missions, research, that sort of thing, to make sure that we're all focused on, our ultimate goal, even if we approach it from different angles. It's just good to know that we're not, duplicating work, treading on everybody's toes, that sort of thing. So, yes, I'm tasked to just dive into that with you and see what your ambitions are, as it were, with your research.
Well, we're trying to get the key back, aren't we?
Oh, you're talking about the Winston key.
I hadn't heard it referred to as that, but yes, I suppose. The key that Harvey was supposed to deliver to Malkuth.
Oh, interesting. So you've been researching in that area.
Of course. It seems rather important, don't you think?
Definitely. There's not judgment, just ensuring you, aren't duplicating work from other people and, just double checking what everybody's...
Please, I think we all know that if I was doing the same work as anyone else, I would already be done with it before they began.
Quite right, Dr. Kennedy, quite right. Your reputation precedes you. I didn't anticipate that this would need to be a long or revealing discussion. I pretty much assumed the answers that I would get, and you have not spoiled that for me at all.
On that note, though, as I told whatever that gentleman that was in charge of that bloody ritual a few days back, if rituals are needed to open gates, portals to Metropolis or anything else, you know that you can come to me rather than resorting to the more violent means.
Oh, definitely. As a matter of fact, in our executive meeting, if you will, and we sort of named you our in-house ritualist for those sort of things. I think you are the first person on the speed dial, as it were.
To be fair, I feel as though I probably should have been involved in that sort of a discussion, even though I have offered my services.
It's interesting that you should mention that, Doctor, because it is that sort of thinking and tied that with your ability to perform rituals that makes you the perfect candidate to help lead our activities here. And at this point, he sort of looks around to make sure that there's nobody watching. Have you considered leadership?
I have other priorities.
Like, what kind of priorities might those be?
Well, accomplishing our goal.
Oh, of course. And probably another goal after that, and then another goal after that. And I have to say, Dr. Kennedy, that the resources of the Flak Chatters, and I'm sure you've already researched and understand that it is a worldwide cult dedicated to the power of Malkuth, and to have your ability to control at least this little portion of it right here in Manhattan might be a very convenient tool to have. An army of researchers at your fingertips who will go to all of the scary places. Quite willingly, as a matter of fact. Now, I say this because it's no secret that your reputation for not being a fan of the current methodology for opening gateways and doorways and portals and trying to move from here to there. And being that type of person, I believe that perhaps a coup is in order, and I know certain things that could help further that and make it actually quite easy for you. more or less. I'm not a fan of current leadership. Kat has constantly not heeded my particular advice and always seems to lean towards the darker side of things, hence our current situation. Is that something that would interest you? Should I continue with this information?
Where are we, like, physically?
You are in the racks of, it's wherever you typically would go into the library, gather whatever it is that you are going to be reading. Now, if you go to like a little side room, or if you just pop in one of the reading, cubicles, or if you take it to your office in the building there.
It seems unwise to discuss this so openly.
Of course. Where would you like to go?
I specifically came to the racks today to find some particular books of interest. I have things planned for today. Why don't we speak later?
We can do that for sure. Whenever it's convenient for you, why don't you stop by my office? I happen to have a few books that have been pulled from the library shelves that I think would be of particular interest to you.
Very well. Your office is where? And I'm assuming he tells me.
Yeah. It's, behind the information counter. There's a couple of administrative offices. I'm across the hall from some idiot named Tom.
Oh, Tom. Yes, I'll drop by at my earliest convenience.
I look forward to speaking to you.
And I go back up to the apartment and the makeshift office that I've made in my room there. And I call Joel, probably.
Yes, I was almost to get this sentence out and I didn't, but I don't want to. I'm sorry to interrupt because I forgot about it. He was about to say that it would going to require the help of your enlightened friends. That was the only sentence he was going to say, so it doesn't change anything. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, she probably was just hanging out, staring at the evidence board. I don't know if Blythe is there or not. She shrugs.
She might pop in.
Just got her feet up on the kitchen table, like watching the evidence board, trying to piece some more stuff together when she hears the phone ring. So she would get up and go to her dad's office, and now that she can walk through it without dodging filing cabinets and papers, would just pick up the phone and answer it. Hello?
Miss Watson, Dr. Kennedy.
Yes, Ernie, what would you like?
A very interesting thing. We'll say thing has happened. Potential shakeup here at the HQ. I don't suppose you've been in touch with Blythe or Harvey or Sasha.
Blythe is camped out with me right now, and Sasha and Harvey are doing Sasha and Harvey things. Why? What's going on?
Who's on the phone?
It's Ernie.
Ernie?
It's Ernst.
Oh.
I don't know. Something about a shakeup. Do you want to come listen?
You just hear the door rattle and the sound of whooshing wings. And she's on her way to Ernst.
Oh. Okay, I guess she's flying to you and didn't bother to wait for me. So, what? I mean...
would you like me to open a door to you directly? I suppose it would be a little bit faster.
You can do that?
Of course.
Cool.
that
Then
a challenge?
that would be great. I don't feel like walking the whole way or figuring out.
Yes, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
I draw some symbols on my apartment door and knock on it 3 times.
She goes and kicks
And
open.
it's straight up just the door to your dad's office
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna say she just walks over and flings it open and hangs up the phone. And then
Welcome.
walks through. What's going on?
I'd rather not tell the whole story 3 or 4 different times. We'll wait for Blythe to arrive, and in the meantime, I'll call Harvey and see if he and Sasha are available.
You hear a crash on the fire escape.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joel's already walking towards the window to get it pulled open.
There she is now.
Cracks it open, and she pulls a little joint baggie out of her back pocket and stands on the porch waiting for him to get off the phone. And has a lovely moment.
Share.
Fine.
Yeah, that's right. Blythe does drugs now. That's a development.
Oh my god. We don't do it that often. Calm down. So
And this is 1990 ditchweed anyway, so.
Yup. So we're just hanging out on the fire escape until you get the whole crew assembled.
Do you page me? What do you do?
Yeah, I suppose you do still have your pager, and that would be the most swift way to get you to get a hold of you. So yeah.
Yeah, Harvey is probably currently at Sasha's house showing him how to fold a burrito properly.
Humoring you.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it is a real burrito that you eat.
One of the nice things that has happened over the last couple of days is not by will. When you try to do this of your own free will, it fails. But things like pager or car keys or house keys or your favorite pair of slippers, those sorts of things, when you go for them your first time and you look in the place where you always put it, and you're thinking to yourself as you go there, there's no way they're there because your whole world was in such a shamble when everything fell apart that you really don't remember where anything is. So there's no possible way it's in its home. All of those things have been in those particular places.
Okay. Pick up the pager, realize I'm sure that this isn't the first time I've seen this phone number. Hey, can you like put that burrito, or this is Ernie.
Oh, pick it up and then hang up on him. It'll be really funny.
No, it's a pager. I don't have a phone in my apartment.
Well, like call him and then
Well, I'd have to
hang up
go
on him.
downstairs. I just figured I'd try to open a door and just get there.
You think he needs us for something?
It says 911. So
Fuck.
and
Okay.
unlike some people, you know, Ernie doesn't really fuck with hyperbole. So I'm gonna guess that if it's an emergency, he needs our attention immediately.
Yeah, you guys got the little bodega down on the corner of your block. There's a payphone right outside that's not that far away, really. Just downstairs to the end of the block.
I'll go down the end of the block and make a call. Ring, ring.
Sasha.
Doc?
Or do you happen to be with Mr. Winston?
Yeah, Harvey's upstairs. What's up?
Interesting change of events, change of potential leadership, it seems, here in the HQ. Joel and Blythe have arrived. I can open a doorway to you and Mr. Winston if you like, or you can make your way here at your own leisure time. But I don't want to talk about it over the phone.
Tell them I say hi.
Blythe says hi.
Yes. Return the salutations, because if you don't, she's gonna think that I'm mad at her, and Jesus, she's a fucking child. Okay.
Sasha says Blythe who?
Ah!
Give me
What?
give me a few minutes to get back upstairs and let Harvey know that, and just yeah. Do you know where we are?
It doesn't particularly matter. I assume you're at your house.
Okay. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, give me a couple minutes to get upstairs.
Okay.
Click.
I bet he's not even wearing the mittens I made him.
Darling, I'm sure he never stopped wearing the mittens that you made him.
Hurt my soul.
I'm going to give it a few minutes and then, well, do the same thing I did for you, Miss Watson. This is a... you're muted.
Damn it. Damn it. That's the first time I've done that. Okay. She like laughs and she reaches into her back pocket and pulls out a piece of paper and is like, oh, you might want that back, by the way. It looked important.
I look at what it is. Is it important?
I don't know. It was a random piece of paper I stole off your corkboard at one point.
No, I'm asking Curtis. Did it happen to be important?
Was it important? Roll for that.
Secret
Exactly.
formula.
It was the Krabby Patty secret formula. You had it all along.
My God.
Ravioli. Give me the formuli.
And it's precisely a 9, so it was kind of important.
Relatively important.
I wondered where this was, but I have already replaced it, so he balls it up and throws it in a trash can.
You know, I hate you sometimes. And she just like walks back out onto the fire escape.
As soon as Sasha comes back up, Harvey will be like, so did you do it?
Do what?
Hang up on him?
Hang up on him?
Yeah. Did you? Trust me, it's funny. It's you didn't do it. That's okay. We'll teach you. We'll teach you humor someday.
You hear
What
3
are
knocks
you-
on the front door.
That's him.
Shoot. What does he want?
Shake up at the HQ. That's all he said. He didn't want to talk about it over the phone. I opened the front door.
And it's the outside into the hallway is now the interior of my room at HQ.
Jesus, and I thought I was good at this. Fuck, that's awesome.
Blythe,
gotta teach me
you
this.
put your you better put your mittens on, or she's gonna be upset.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, do you know where they are? They're bright fucking yellow. Did you lose them?
No. They're just, and he, with that quick movement, he zips across the apartment and back and has them on as he walks in the door. He's wearing just like a short sleeve t-shirt and, jeans, but yellow mittens.
Harvey kind of
With-
gives him a
with
smile.
glitter.
Yeah, you could hear Joel like laughing at you just slightly, like from her spot leaning against the window frame.
Yeah, Blythe will poke her head through the window just to make sure, and then when she sees him, she gives a nod and goes back out.
He just walks in nonchalant, you know what I mean? Acting, this is normal. You can giggle at me all you want to. I'll rip your fucking throat out.
Burrito in hand, I will follow.
In New York, you could get away with yellow mittens in 1990 very easily,
They're
Especially-
stylish.
especially in January.
Yeah, it's cold out. You're fine.
Yeah. Baby, it's cold outside.
I really can't stay.
Gross, guys.
Rapey song.
It's not the best.
Oh my god. All right, Ernie, what's this about a shakeup?
So one of the new administrative supervisors approached me earlier today while I was acquiring books in the library. Mentioned a coup.
Like what pigeons say?
Get zoom tight.
No. No. It's like
Forceful
uprising.
removal of the current leadership and replacing them with me,
Ah.
I mean, replacing Kat with you.
essentially.
Why?
This particular individual, Jared, I think, something to that effect. He is displeased with the violent and inefficient way that Kat does business. I don't trust it, if I'm going to be perfectly
Yeah,
honest.
so why you,
I don't disagree with it though.
Mr. Violent and
Kills people in his basement.
Now I don't need to do that, so I don't.
It's not like they've known us for long.
Which is why I don't trust it.
yeah, so it's a trap.
I think so.
All right, well, what
However,
do you...
So what do we do?
well, I feel as though it would behoove us to eliminate at least one of the factions that's trying to wrest power. And,
Faction that
if
wants
I
to
can take over anyway, that would be fine.
So we kill them.
Blythe,
Okay,
Easy on the
we don't
murder.
have to go right straight to that.
So they want you to take over. But what does that gain then?
Well, I think what they want is for me to do the dirty work and then probably eliminate me and the rest of us as well. Who knows?
Harvey,
Yeah.
can you still talk to the lady?
Yes, I haven't tried though. But she's there. I can feel her. You want me to talk to the lady?
Sasha, why?
For what?
Explain.
Won't she want something in return?
I'm not saying that it's the only option. I'm just trying to think of all of the options.
Well,
If there are two factions, if there are two factions within the Flak Chatters, and the Flak Chatters are the earthly, whatever it is that this is, hand, the soldiers of Malkuth, and you have the ear of Malkuth.
It's not a bad thought. So Curtis, Meta, do I still have the bound advantage? I know that being enlightened, we can try to get a favor from Malkuth, but we have to owe something in return. Do I still have bound? So will I still be able to just talk to her without having those stipulations?
Yes.
Dope. Okay.
Again, I'm not saying that it's the only option. I am just... we don't know enough about this place and who they are. And I know that they show us reverence of some sort, or at least most of them seem to, but that doesn't mean that we can trust any of them.
But can we trust the lady?
I don't know.
Listen, I trust you and I love you and you're amazing and the best person in the entire universe. So if you want me to talk to the lady, what should I say?
Again, I don't know.
No, I think it's a
Ernie,
good idea.
do you have a feeling on that? Is it too big a risk? Am I crazy to think that we can trust what Malkuth would tell us anyway?
I don't know.
You just stroking your cat?
Don't ask him that. It's personal.
Is that a euphemism?
Yeah, is that a euphemism?
I mean, I don't know. Don't know how to. I never take anybody at their word. Okay, plain and simple. I never take anybody at their word.
Especially after what we've seen.
The people in this room that I really trust are you guys, and the only people in this building that I trust is you guys.
So,
What about
Kennedy,
Tom?
do you think? Fuck Tom.
Why,
Oh.
Tom?
What is he, the freaking secretary of the craft room?
Why not, Tom?
No. I mean, I think he has a lot of good information.
What about that angel dude you keep going on about?
Ooh, yes. I will talk to him any day. Let me at him.
Please, no, I have enough nightmares about the shit you've said this past week anyways.
We still
La
need
la
to
la
talk
la
about
la
that
la
one
la
time.
la 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 la.
That's what I wanted to do.
I just
Now
won't
it's
shut
burned
up
into my
about
brain.
it.
Would he know what's going on?
Probably more than we do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If
I
he
would say that
has
if we're going to talk to anybody, we call them to us.
And what
Tom
about
or
Kat? Does
David
Both of them.
Kat
Kennedy,
one
know
of
what's
them.
going on?
in
Ernie,
one
this
room.
is your
I
thing.
can't handle that.
Yeah, Ernie, you.
What do you think,
You
Ernie?
asked us to come here.
If Malkuth has a preference, wouldn't be a terrible idea to know what that preference is.
Okay, so what should I ask?
What's it going to cost?
Asking won't cost anything, but if we need something from her, just a little bit more of my soul, but that's gone.
Well, ultimately, I'm sure we'll be able to do whatever is necessary without any additional help from her. However, we don't want to make the wrong decision here, or it could set us back quite a bit in our search for freedom from all of this.
I'd rather ask David and Tom before putting Harvey in a soul slicing situation.
I agree with that.
The problem with that is we don't know whose side they're on.
What if we get caught by Kat asking around all these questions? I mean, we're literally sitting in here talking about treason against Kat. What if that pisses her off? Then what do we do?
Excuse me. I can kind of make people tell the truth most of the time. That's something that I've learned I can do.
What's your question, Blythe?
Under my super sweet new power of bewitching, there is an option. It says influence your victim.
Yes.
Can that be like I make them swear that they're not going to tell anyone what I ask them and they'll do it?
Potentially.
Interesting. All right.
It's not a guaranteed outcome, but it is definitely something that happens. And Harvey, as you twist this thought in your head over and over and over about reaching out to the lady, which you really you haven't 100% faith is Malkuth, at least not in your heart, because of all the things that have happened. The phone rings. And I tell you because when it rings, just because of the thought process and everybody's talking about the other things that they can do and the people and who can they trust and getting the truth out of them, you know that the phone is for you.
He kind of like jerks up and he'll go straight for it and pick it up. Hello?
Julius?
What?
Hang on a sec. Maybe this one's a little better.
Yeah, and your voice is really weird there for a second.
Is he on cold?
I did not know what he said. I was like trying to
Oh, what?
Does Malkuth need a cough drop?
I said, who this? Yeah. Julius.
Harvey.
What? It'd be really funny if I hung up on you right now, but I have a feeling you won't let me get away with that.
No, Harvey, I knew that you were thinking of me.
Guilty.
You are the chosen one, Mr. Winston. You and your friends are very important to me. And that's in a good way. The things that are happening, the questions you have are not surprising, but you shouldn't worry. There is a rift in my little chatters.
Okay.
And having Dr. Kennedy at the helm will be very beneficial to them and beneficial to me and you.
So what are you saying we should do? Just take over?
Jared has a plan.
Does Jared know what he's doing? Should we trust Jared? Should we trust Tom? What?
I have taken many years to put all of the pieces of the puzzle in place. Jared's plan will set things in motion. Whether it's the way it ends is of course a different story, but it is the way to begin.
Okay. Okay, we'll do it.
The next time I contact you, I will attempt a more pleasing vocal range.
I appreciate that. You sound really bad. You sound like you went to a concert and screamed bloody murder.
It was. Iron Maiden.
This is a really strange conversation to be having with you. I'm just, can I hang up now? Do you have anything else you need?
There's nothing but silence.
Fucking Iron Maiden.
You got hung up on. How's that for funny?
He'll turn around and he looks a little rattled, but not nearly as much as he was when these first started. And he'll wipe a little bit of sweat off his forehead and
okay,
take
babe?
another bite of his burrito. Yeah, well, that was Malkuth, casual chat. They went to an Iron Maiden concert. Love that.
What?
Doesn't matter. We
You
have
didn't
to
get
go
an
talk
invite?
to Jared.
Gods go to concerts?
I don't really want to take any invites from Malkuth anymore.
You know how hard it is? You know how hard it is to get tickets to see Iron Maiden at Madison Square Garden?
I can
Sasha,
find
Sasha,
you tickets.
Sasha.
I'm literally a superstar.
Sasha, not the point. Harvey, what
Fair.
is the point?
Fair.
Well, now I know what to get you for Valentine's Day, and we have to talk to Jared.
Ernie?
He's got a plan. Ernie needs to lead. It's a puzzle piece. We're all pieces.
Well,
So-
we're definitely all tools.
Especially you.
Suppose I set myself up for that, didn't I?
Sure did.
Well, as it stands, Jared's office is right across the hall from Tom's.
I don't think we should
Oh.
talk to Tom.
I feel like that's not going to be an option. I feel like he's going to see Blythe and come sprinting out of his office.
Yeah, I suggest you call Jared in his office and tell him to come up here.
Or we risk Tom.
Tom's not that bad. He's
If
harmless.
this is supposed to be a secret, then we should keep it as secret as we can. Open a door, call him, tell him you're going to open a door, and then open a door.
Well, should we be talking about treason in the building?
I'm sure Tom already knows what we're talking about. He's always watching me.
I mean, just in general. There
We
could
can
be
go
yeah.
back
everywhere.
somewhere else.
The walls have ears, of course, which is why I was surprised he brought it up standing in the middle of the library, which is, again, why I thought it was a trap.
That means he's confident that whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Well,
Or
if
he's gonna try to
Malkuth
get us
says
all
it's
killed.
going to happen or it needs to happen, and that following Jared's plan, then I don't think that it matters if we do it here or elsewhere. And if it does go to shit, we have a couple of ways to get out of here. Or, Blythe, you can just start eating souls.
Cool.
Terrifying.
No matter
Yeah,
how
that's
it
the
ends.
point. That's the point.
I don't want
Whatever
to
happens, it's going to be the beginning of something else, and Malkuth made that clear. So I don't think it matters how we go about it. We just need to do it.
So let's take our ragtag gang down to the office.
I like the calling him idea, though. I like him. He's like a fan that never leaves.
Just
I've already picked up the phone.
We're just arguing while Ernie's doing it.
Okay. I'm telling you, I think he's an asset.
Yeah, he's an ass something.
That I can control and
Who are you calling?
Honey, you can control, manipulate a lot of people.
Uh,
yeah.
I guess since I don't know Jared's specific office extension, I'll call the front desk and ask to be transferred.
Cute. It's a hotel now.
Yes, operator.
Tom,
works- it
transfer
works.
me across the hall.
It works very
Blythe
efficiently.
there.
Left over the corporate structure building of the 80s. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, hello, this is Tom.
Damn it, Tom.
Tell him I say hi.
Harvey
Oh.
just
No,
whispers,
no.
hang up on him. I've done it like 5 times.
You just reach across and just click.
No,
Tom-
don't do that.
Tom, what is Jared's extension? I was trying to reach his office.
Dr. Kennedy. Oh, you should have just told him you wanted to speak to Jared. They would have connected you.
That's what I did. They sent me to you for some reason.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that, Dr. Kennedy. I try to keep those things from happening, and
Yes,
Wow.
what is Jared's extension, Tom?
His extension is 6.
Just 6?
It's just a 6.
It's just the number 6.
Well, yeah, there's only 8 of us that have one.
Great, thanks. And I hang up.
Oh, poor Tom.
Oh, I hope he calls back.
He was about to ask about Blythe.
Damn it.
He called back just to
Then
ask.
it was the perfect time to hang up.
Ernst, you didn't tell him I said hi.
Terribly sorry, Blythe. I forgot. And I pick the phone back up and dial extension 6.
I hope it's Tom again.
I forgot. He told you his extension number.
Hello, this is Jared.
Oh, you sound
Jared,
like Tom.
Dr. Kennedy.
Yes, Dr. Kennedy. Glad to hear from you.
Is your door closed at the moment?
Certainly.
Good. Hang on just a sec. I draw the ritual symbols and knock 3 times. Yes, that's me. Please answer it.
Okay. Okay. I was a little confused there, Dr. Kennedy. Very, very advanced. Yes. Okay, I'll open the door. Should I hang up the phone?
Yes. I've
Okay.
already hung up.
Harvey
He's
is just-
screaming at the door.
Giggling.
And so he opens the door.
Good. Jared, come on in.
Sasha's positioned himself behind Dr. Kennedy so that he can see the door and he can see Jared. Just as a precaution.
Young, slick, tall, dark-haired professional. Black suit, white shirt, bright blue decorated tie. Oh, everybody's here. Outstanding. Excellent. I was expecting you just to stop by my office, Dr. Kennedy.
The wall's heavier, Jared. You know this.
Ken, is the door behind me? Can I go back into my office and grab the book?
I suppose. He didn't close it yet, did he?
We'll say no.
Okay.
And so he goes in and then comes back out, and he's got this sort of old-looking leather-bound book, a little bit larger than your typical hardback. Did you have more questions for me? I assume
suppose,
you've had some discussion.
Well, I think we all have some questions, but yes. Come in, have a seat, all of you.
Wait, meta
Interesting.
question.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Does my object of desire still count on anyone I meet?
When you can choose to flip it on or off.
Oh, great. Okay, never mind. Continue.
That was a good question. We hadn't talked about that. Yeah, on your other abilities from before, your advantages, I'm giving you some ease on those.
Well, okay. Because it was a disadvantage. So I just didn't know.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to worry about that.
Cool.
So, Jared, you say you have a plan.
Well, yes, I mean, I have the information that could make accomplishing the goal much easier. There's a ritual. You see, the building is actually a temple on the other side of the veil, much like Blythe's Park Avenue apartment, I believe. We've learned. So the temple is typically bound to a person, usually a person who knows how to perform rituals, and the ritualist that had previously bound himself to the temple is no longer alive. Kat was filled the void, as it were, and there was no need to bind the building to anyone because there was no. It was just a power vacuum, as opposed to a struggle. There was no need to unbind the building and rebind it to Kat, and nobody could actually do it. It would take somebody of much more skill. No magician that currently is available for sure, and none that we would want to lead. And it also requires strong people to accompany you during the ritual, and you have quite a group of able-bodied friends.
Sasha waves with a yellow mitten.
Yes, it's quite crisp outside, and so it's the perfect moment. She's certainly not expecting it. And once the temple is bound to you, once you complete the ritual, then there would be nothing she could do. The temple would basically be at your whim as far as the illusion within the building. You could put her in a maze for eternity. If you felt like it, she could run through doors until she died of exhaustion, or whatever you so choose.
Will she fall in line?
Oh, no.
So there's a fight coming.
Yes.
Great. And her big bodyguard man,
how many-
I'm assuming,
yeah.
is going to follow suit with that.
Most assuredly. Well, most everybody at the moment is gone, and quite honestly, none of them really care. The Flak Chatters are dedicated to exploration and finding clues and puzzles and artifacts, and it's quite an academic bunch, and most of them are not as interested in the politics of the powers that help keep it all running.
What do you want out of this, Jared?
Oh, well, for me, I would put us back on the right track to discovering, new things that could help people. And this new methodology of creating traumatic moments.
No. You personally.
Oh, well, I benefit from not having a tyrant for a leader.
Have you met Ernie?
Blythe. Rude.
Sorry, had to.
No offense, she's not really that wrong, is she?
Yeah, well,
I
at least
mean-
Blythe's not the one that's getting to make the decisions at this point. No offense, sweetheart.
You all have a reputation, but for the same reasons that everybody has chased Blythe down makes her just that much unsafe. Her future would be uncertain if the current leadership of the Flak Chatters stayed the same as it was, because once they realize the tool that they have available to them, they will stop at nothing they think there is no means, that doesn't justify the end.
Ernie did spend a long time on the other side. It actually kind of makes sense.
What does the ritual involve?
If you accept the ritual, then you would have to go to the top floor of the temple, and a blood sacrifice, well, not an actual life force sacrifice, a life would have to be given. But it would be the last one, you see.
Anyone in particular, or?
Well, my initial thought was Kat would be perfect, but that would be a battle that's almost best had after the ritual, once you have the ability, because between her and Morten, I don't know that if the 5 of you combined could defeat them.
They're that powerful.
Yes, Morten is an Asgul that Kat has complete control over, and she's a quite formidable opponent herself. But Morten has abilities much like yours.
Asguls are very dangerous.
So what, another doctor is what we're talking?
Yeah, but it sounds like worse.
Does it have to be a person?
Are we talking about sacrificing goats again? Because I
wasn't goats specifically, but
Goats are very
sure,
hard
yeah,
to come by
goats.
No,
nowadays.
a metaphorical goat, the biblical scapegoat, as it were.
We could sacrifice Jared.
So in order to stop sacrificing people, we have to sacrifice someone.
Yes.
It's a bit of a catch-22.
You all know me. I'm no stranger.
Can I eat them?
Well, if I have to use their life force for the ritual, I doubt there will be any left over for you, dear.
Blythe, are you hungry? Do you want a burrito? I have burritos. You don't have to eat people.
Well, I do.
Yeah, we've tried that. She actually kind of does.
Right. No, in this particular situation, Blythe, this would be a sort of a forced reversal of what you experience. If there was a way for you to regurgitate a life force per se, that might actually, work in some theoretical sense, I suppose. But no, the best way is to just slit a person's throat and their life force bleeds out and then is accepted by the power.
So if we do this, and Ernie comes to be in power, and he's also the ruler of the temple, does that mean he owns my house?
No, not your temple, dear. This temple.
Oh, okay.
The Malkuth building is the disguise of a Malkuth temple.
Ernie, it's got to be your call. You're the one who has to do it.
It would certainly make things easier for all of us and all of our goals, and we'd be able to have control over future endeavors, future research, and keep anyone from ever needing to be sacrificed again.
Who are you going to pick, though?
I used to leave that to
other
Sasha.
People. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. While you consider that, this would be a perfect opportunity to take our break. You can consider your sacrifice and then make your assault on the ritual when we come back. So we're going to take a brief break, like about 10 minutes or so everybody can stretch their legs, visit the bathroom or whatnot, and don't forget to wash your yellow mittens. And we will be right back.
me.
No, man.
She's 12 feet tall.
Yeah, she has
Elsa
to be at
is
least
12
12 feet tall.
feet tall.
A Frozen is made
Oh
up of
my
giants.
My
So how
sister-in-law
tall is
called it a
Marshmallow?
meanie the other day.
Marshmallow would have to be what, 30 feet?
Jesus.
45?
Huge.
Oh my
Elsa's
God.
taller than Harvey.
You guys are unbelievable.
Please have something.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that carrot nose, though.
Huge.
I told you we were
If you
coming
want
back
to know what
live.
the carrot knows was about, subscribe to our Patreon.
I told you that we were
I'll draw
coming
the
back
fan
live.
art.
I know, and we're never ready for it. We've always got some bit to come back with.
No,
And join the
and
Discord.
what's going to
Yeah,
happen?
join the Discord.
What's going to happen is when this is all said and done, one or more of you are going to have to go back and comb through 27 some odd episodes and clip these sections out so that we can put them all together.
I have one clipped.
Just all of
But,
our
like,
comebacks.
I sent to Krista, and it was when you were yelling at Mew Jackman. You're in the middle of a really intense scene, and then Curtis just goes, Mew! Mew!
Come here.
How come you haven't called?
Yes.
Your agent is terrible.
Oh God, it was so.
We need
funny.
to clip every time we say peephole.
Oh my God.
Oh, the super cut of peepholes would
That
be
would be-
absurd.
That would require a lot more work.
Yeah, that's like a
People
3-week
are-
project.
Tito, if you're our biggest fan.
But
I don't know how to clip.
I wouldn't wish that hell on him. No way.
But yes, for you who are watching live on Twitch, just because Blythe brought it up, and I'm going to have to take over this conversation at some point. If you are, because she just asked how to clip, down in the lower right-hand corner, I believe. I'm trying to look at my Twitch screen over there, and I can't see it from this angle. It used to look like a little clacker, a little movie
It's not there
clacker.
anymore. I can't find it.
You have to scroll your cursor to the bottom right-hand corner, and it looks like
yeah, they've
like
changed
a-
some things lately.
It's not there where it used to be with like the settings and the full screen and theater mode.
uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
Mine's right there.
Mine's not. I don't
No,
know.
mine is not.
It
I don't
is.
see mine.
It's there somewhere.
Or
Can you
alt-
only clip if you're subscribed?
No.
I am subscribed and it
You
won't.
could also hit Alt plus X.
Ah.
And that'll clip.
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh,
Technology at its finest.
Oh, and Tidorf says hover over the screen. Try
I'm
that.
hovering.
I know that there's a way. I do know they changed it because it's not where it used to be. So I don't remember off the top of my head how to do it because it's a little bit different on my screen from everybody else's because I'm the publisher. So I don't have a 1-to-1. But if you clip that, then it like takes the last 30 seconds or so, I believe, 30 or 40 seconds, somewhere in there, that you just did. So you can, you can wait.
Man, I wish I'd known that sooner.
Even if you wait a beat or two past a moment and think, oh, I need to clip that, then usually you still have enough time to get it and we'll have caught the whole thing. A lot of stuff happens in 30 seconds. It's really amazing. How many times somebody can say peephole in 30 seconds? How many people can say peephole in 30 seconds?
I see what you did
Challenge.
there.
When we last left off before break, the question was, in order to get access and bind yourself as the controller of the Temple of Malkuth would require a sacrifice of a life, a human life, a divine life force. Is required, and you can only get that from a person. You are the divine, as you have figured out recently, and so that word has a little different meaning to you. So that is seemingly what is required at this particular thing. The book is the key to the ritual. He has the book And once you accept the book, things will start to unfold for you because you are a ritualist. And the knowledge that you already have is the warning that he gives you when he holds this book out to you. It basically is like turning the doorknob. Things will start to change for you. So you have to commit in your heart when accepting this book.
Sasha, do you have any ideas? You used to acquire test subjects for me in the past.
Might take me a couple days, but I have someone in mind.
Jared, once we start this process, how long do you think it will take Kat to take notice?
I would imagine that Morten would start to clue on and would key in on it. I don't know, rather quickly. It really just depends on how the power builds. From what I understand, from what I can make out of the book, the ritual actually it takes an hour to complete. So, at some point within that window, for sure. But as to if does it happen, a few seconds in, it's a matter of, the chimes going off in the multiverse and this Asgul hearing it. Depends on how loud it gets and how soon it gets that loud. Does that make sense?
What if we took out Kat and Morten before any of that?
That was what I initially had thought of, because then that would give you the sacrifice with Kat. However, between the two of them, and they have the building on their side, it'd be very difficult to defeat them.
So we're going to have to defend Ernie during this hour while he performs this ritual, because Morten will be certainly coming for him.
I'll stay here with Ernie.
Basically, yes. And the ritual is in some semblance an opening of a portal. However, it opens a channel to Malkuth, in which then you receive the power's blessing from Malkuth through that channel. So it's the ritual itself is a ritual to open up a very fancy phone line, as it were. And in doing that sort of thing, sometimes these doorways have ways of crossing through other worlds as they find their end. And it is not uncommon that some other creature may happen through. Sometimes not, but that's also another reason to have a handful of skilled assistants at the ready.
Ernie, if you ever call me assistant, I will shoot you in the foot.
I'm sure, and as enlightened as you are, my words, not good enough for sure.
Is it daytime or is it past dusk?
What time do you want it to be?
Preferably nightfall would be great.
If it's late in the day or getting, or already past dusk, then
right. Well, I mean, if we worked it out, it would be like, when does Ernie typically visit the library to do his research? The whole thing would have initiated during that particular time frame. I'm assuming afternoon. So
Are we in the apartment, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha's gonna go to his room, put on leather jacket, zip it up, wide hat, sunglasses, different set of gloves so that the yellow mittens aren't quite so obvious.
Going out on the town?
I'll be back.
You need any help?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Then
I'll be all right. I promise.
Page me if you
won't.
need me.
Okay. I won't.
I'll stick by Ernie's side just in case.
I would rather you guys be here.
Be
just
careful.
in case.
Hey, but if you do need me, please.
I promise. I pinky swear, whatever. Yes, I will. I will let you know if I need you. Okay?
Harvey stares at him and slowly holds up a pinky.
Be careful.
They won't even see me coming.
Just keep it that way, please.
And Sasha leaves out the window down the fire escape.
So, now we wait.
I expect I will be looking through the book to prepare myself.
We have to do this on the top floor.
Yeah.
Always the top floor.
So is it the floor or the roof?
It's the floor of the roof.
I feel like we've had this discussion before.
I suppose if there are any roof people up there, Blythe will have a field day.
Perhaps.
Hashtag roof people. Sasha, when you go out to do your thing, what do you do?
I make my way across town to Queens. I don't take a cab. I'm intentionally walking, waiting for the sun to go down, sticking to the unsunny side of the street.
It really doesn't take that long in the evening time on the East Coast with the buildings of Manhattan high up around you before that sun is
No longer a problem.
no longer a direct issue for sure.
I go to it's an apartment building, 12 stories high, and I'm going to apartment 11C. Knock on the door. First time I knock on the door, I don't get an answer. So I kind of hang out at the end of the hallway. It's not uncommon for somebody to be hanging out in the hallway or the stairwell. There are various people in and out. People that live there, people that are there for other purposes. And I wait. And I wait. And it gets on closer to midnight. And there's somebody that comes and they knock at the door. but they do it in a very specific way. And the door opens. And with that supernatural quickness that I have, I make my way down the hallway and get there before the door closes. This is the place that I escaped from all those years ago. And it smells of piss. Sweat. And even though it's wintertime, there are flies inside. And I grabbed that man that came in through the door. I slammed the door behind me and I put his head through the wall. And I grabbed the man that opened the door. And I put his head into the door. Not intentionally trying to kill him, but doing my best to knock him unconscious. And if that doesn't knock him out cold at first, then I'll put his head into the door again. And again.
Yeah, with your ability for quickness, it doesn't take much of it. It's more about speed and leverage than it is pounds of pressure.
And after they're both out, I'll find something to tie them up with. And I'll go through the apartment.
Looking for
anyone else. And if there are any young people in there, I will make sure that any adults that may be in there are removed.
Give me your roll for quick. It's plus reflexes.
Reflex?
Yeah.
$13.
Very good.
A natural 10 and a natural 1.
Yeah. Just eked by. Not too bad. It does qualify you for 2 edges. I'm just going to make you roll 1, regardless of the amount of quicknesses you use. I was basically fishing for a move. There is nobody else in the place.
I'm going to leave the guy who entered tied up. And I'm going to take the guy that answered the door. I'm going to drag him down the hallway. And I'm going to let his head bounce off the stairs on the way down. At least a couple of flights worth. And then we'll get in the elevator. I'll slap him.
He stays out all the way back. And I'm just assuming that you are gonna take this thing through alleyways and access
No, I'm
tunnels.
Well, I mean, I was gonna use Wayfinder.
Okay. That's good. I don't think I want to make you roll that one. Let me see. This is we have to finish this story tonight, so there's only certain things I'm going to allow to happen. So you're going to get the shortcut. Go ahead and give me a roll just to see if I get.
You don't.
See if I get a move.
I know where I'm going.
Nope. With ease, you can wayfind your way so that you avoid any looky-loos as you haul this body back to where the rest of your friends are. Sasha comes through the door with
It's late. It's about 2 a.m. probably.
Oh.
Well, I mean, unless I got there quicker. But I probably spent I probably spent an hour in that apartment working these two guys over.
I say
Well, there you
I'll
go.
be up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be asleep.
Anxiety is too much.
Mm-hmm.
And Sasha, just comes through the door. It kind of looks like you see night air behind him, or maybe that was a wall. It was a flash. He's already through the door now, but you couldn't really tell exactly what that was behind him. But it's not important because it looks like he's got either somebody over his shoulder or he's dragging somebody in.
Joel gets up from where she was sitting at the little table cleaning a gun and comes over and like grabs another arm and like helps him move this man and get him tied up.
If we're tying him up, I'll go get rope and find a chair. Do I recognize this man at all? Have I seen him?
Nope.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was easy. Easier than I thought.
Good. Do we just keep him tied up? Or?
I'd keep him bound and gagged, yeah.
We gotta get Ernie. Would Ernie have been asleep?
No.
If not, wake him up.
I'm still looking through the ritual book.
So where are you at? Are you like in your room? Or are you?
Yeah.
All right. I'll go get him. And Joel walks to his bedroom door and like tentatively knocks on it before opening it. He's back.
Yes, Miss Watson.
He's back. He's got him.
I'll be right out.
Are you ready for this?
No time like the present, I suppose.
I mean, you're about to inherit a whole building and army.
There's a weight with something like that. But that's not important right now. Let's see the individual.
Okay. And she turns and walks back out over to everybody else. Where's Blythe?
She's hanging like a bat, dozing on the fire escape.
Yes.
Harvey,
Yes.
can you please go get Blythe down and up?
Yeah. Oh. And he kind of looking at the guy seated down and looking over Sasha to make sure he's okay, but he'll brush it aside and go get Blythe. He like opens the door and Blythe.
She gets spooked and she loses her grip and she just
I'll
fucking
catch her.
dives.
Yeah, without hesitation, I'll step forward and hold out my arms to catch her.
Aw.
Why would you? That can't be comfortable.
It wasn't bad, actually. I kind of liked it. The air, the breeze. It's like a
Whatever.
hammock, but better.
The blood rushing into the top of my skull.
He'll gently set her down. Sasha got the guy, so I guess we're doing this now.
Oh. Like right now?
Whatever Ernie says, I guess. I think everyone's kind of urgent.
Yeah. Are you okay? Like, are you okay with this?
No, but we have to. I don't have time to be okay with anything.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
All right, and they'll walk back in.
Well, Ernie, are you doing this?
Is this the gentleman, Sasha?
Yeah, he's the one.
Who is he?
No one.
Best not to ask.
All right, are we ready for a fight? And she's staring directly at Sasha.
He takes his gloves off.
Best to do it while it's dark, for Sasha at least.
So, we're just gonna be fighting Kat and Henchman?
That's a good question.
I expect she has some loyalists.
Oh, God.
Who knows, though?
It's going to be bad enough taking down her and Morten, so.
And we do this on the roof? Or the top floor?
Where's the ritual?
The book
Ernst?
actually describes taking the elevator at the temple.
Okay.
I expect there's some illusory work afoot with something like this. Are we ready?
He did tell you once you accepted the book that it would start to unlock things and certain realities would begin to change.
Let's go find the secret button on the elevator.
Joel grabs her gun off the table, tucks it into the back of her jeans, pats to make sure her knife is still where it's supposed to be, and looks at Ernie.
The guy is still alive, right? For the time being?
Has to be.
He is.
Okay. Well, he looks somewhat beat up, somewhat more so than some of the other folks you brought me in the past.
All you said was alive.
Just a little.
Ernie, master of understatements. Well, I won't press you for details as to why this one is in worse shape than the usuals. It's not important. Are you ready?
Yes. Are you asking me to say yes? Yes. Let's get this over with. Jesus fucking Christ.
So if everybody feels prepared, Dr. Kennedy, I'm assuming you're going to open a portal back to the Malkuth building. Is that right?
Oh, I thought that's where we were.
Yeah,
We're in the apartment.
Okay, I knew you were shifting back and forth between different places, so I didn't know exactly where you were at this particular time. So
yeah, we're in the Flag Shatters building.
Okay, when you get to the building, then as you approach the elevator, which would take you to the top, the building is typically 10 floors. The buttons now go all the way to 22. The book did tell you the ritual chamber is on the top floor.
Hitting that button.
Punch it.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah, we don't need roads. That's absolutely awesome, because for the first time on Divinity Lost Manhattan, I actually built us a map page.
Give us a fancy.
And so
That is fancy. Oh my god.
I have moved you all there. You should be able to zoom out or zoom in as you need. I didn't do all of the shading and line of sight, so everything is pretty much exposed. But that first room is basically the room once you step off the elevator, and it is just like that, like this stone room. You should be able to move your little
Is that door open or is it closed?
guy around. It is closed.
Ooh.
Wow.
Sorry, now I'm playing also, by the way.
Cool.
But it is it's not locked.
What is the door like? Is it made of steel? Is it like, what does the door look like? Does it have a peephole?
They are steel and wood doors, like heavy wood doors that are bound in iron of some sort. They look ancient to you. I mean, from your 1990 world, you feel like you have stepped back into a temple from 1,000 years ago. And so yeah, it just looks like a very ancient wood and iron door with rivets, and the walls around you are stone. The floor is a cracked stone tile.
Me.
And I don't have any specific movement restrictions set up on this particular map. I just thought since we were going to do something, it'd be kind of fun to actually have you guys in a temple. And just because you might happen upon a bad guy, it would give you a little place to play around in for a little bit. But there's no D&D movement restrictions or anything like that, so you can pretty much just go anywhere you want to. But
Ernie?
You can see when you zoom out what the place looks like.
Ernie's already approached the door and has just laid a hand on it, and then just slowly starts to push to see if it gives it all.
I'll probably hold the guy since I have big muscles now.
Jules like right on your heels with a gun, like already in her hand, just in case.
The latch comes open with a relative ease. It feels like it's a little sticky perhaps, but it doesn't take but just a smidge of effort to get it to go down, and the door starts to creak open, and you can hear the echo. And it gives you an indication to the size of the room. That
Sasha's gonna push past Ernie and go into the room first.
It's a huge chamber with couple of different multi-levels stairs that go down to the center of the chamber. Just
is it well lit?
It is. There's no torches or anything, but there is a glow from the ceiling.
How far down do those stairs go?
About 8 feet down.
Not far. Okay.
No, just a floor, barely a full floor level.
And we can see those symbols etched into the floor.
Yeah, those are much prettier than what you actually see because those are the only ones I had. They're awful bright, but what you can see are remnants of old ritual etchings. You can also see on the opposite wall, the alcove, where there is a pair of manacles hanging from the wall. What looks to be some old table with some, perhaps, tools of some sort laying on it. And with close inspection, you see that they are old, rusty, torturous-looking tools, and there is bloodstains on the stone.
Ernie, you want to give us some direction here?
Mr. Winston, you see those manacles over there?
Yeah.
I think you know what to do.
Right. And Harvey will go over and he'll kind of go like around the whole scary podium. He'll take the long way around and go tie the guy up.
Ernie starts to go down the stairs and look at the ritual circles and starts planning out what it is he will need to do.
Joel is gonna kind of hang out by the door. She's got a hand on the silly collar that Blythe gave her because she's thinking like about the fight that's about to come, but she doesn't say anything. She's just kind of watching the door.
Yeah, Sasha's staying kind of off to the side a little bit from her, but also so in his peripheral he can see the door, but he can also still see Harvey.
Blythe will probably go down the stairs and stop short of the floor, like just hang out on the bottom 2 stairs.
The way you understand the ritual, Dr. Kennedy, is it will take some time. There's some chanting involved, and you will have to draw some specific symbols on the floor. Once the symbols have been drawn, you would then spill the blood onto the floor, and then through your chants, and if everything is as it's supposed to be, the power of the life force will then charge and start to open a portal. Your chanting and whatnot will continue to generate and open that portal. Doesn't require complete concentration. If you were to stop and bark an order, say if a monster was coming through, you could do that and then continue to repeat the process to start the energy again, to widen the doorway, as it were. You have to think of your vocals as like the muscles that are opening basically the illusion, tearing it open, but this is a direct line to the power that is going to then bind you to this place. So there's some effort that is involved there.
What's your time frame, Doc?
Should take about an hour once I start drawing the requisite symbols.
Pitter patter, man. Let's go.
I've already started, Sasha.
I don't really like this, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, so what? We just wait till the big bad thing comes and gets us?
Exactly what we do.
Just keep your eyes open.
So, Curtis, I have
Yes.
the protective circle ability.
Uh-huh.
I would like to use it while I'm doing this ritual.
Okay. And I want
Do we still make our pregame rolls? Do those advantages still apply?
Yes.
Okay.
If
Because I did make mine earlier, so.
Okay, yeah, I'm completely loose with all of the old advantages from your aware archetypes. So if they can apply narratively, then we will use them. If they don't seem to make sense, then kind of like the bound thing doesn't really
Okay.
make sense.
Well, then
as it's written for Blythe.
I have 3 edges for 6 cents then.
That we can do. So you're going to draw the protective circle first.
Mm-hmm.
And where and how big is the circle?
To move that every time. So how much of that space is going to be taken up by the new symbols that I'm going to have to draw for the ritual itself?
As you see the symbols that are down there.
Then
that's the size of your workspace.
Essentially, yeah, then from the base of each set of stairs in that circle around those symbols.
Okay.
Meta, what does that do?
I have protection from creatures and magical energies as long as you remain within the protective circle.
So should we all be in that circle?
Possibly.
Ooh, look at that.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Hey, yeah, I'm playing around tonight.
Love it.
Can we walk in and out of the
outside of the circle?
That's the conversation between you and Dr. Kennedy, and of course the timing with the bleeding and whatnot will have to be. You guys are actually playing that out right now.
He's only over there while I finish drawing the important and relevant symbols, Mr. Winston. We'll be bringing him over shortly.
Can we just be as quick about this as possible? I'm starting to get nervous.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I didn't want to take away from the discussion about the protective circle. If you guys think you need to be down in the ring, that sort of thing is.
Feel free to ask me what it's for.
Ernie, what are you drawing on the floor right now?
Symbols for the ritual, in addition to a protective circle.
A protective circle?
Yes.
For you?
Whoever needs it, I suppose. It's merely there to, keep other beings from, disturbing me while I do the ritual itself.
That's handy.
It is indeed.
Can you walk in and out of it, or is it just like a one-time thing?
Since it is a defensive mechanism, it is probably wise to, if you have, let's say, less than angelic means. It protects against demons and the like. So, vampires probably fine. Probably fine.
Okay. Well, get to cracking.
And he gets working. He gets a working fast.
Joel, you're feeling pretty stressed out, aren't you?
Yeah, Yikes.
I'm spooked.
Oh no!
I'm spooked.
Go
Yeah.
to doggo form.
What do you want?
I could sense the anxiety when you finally give in because you can't seem to get the right question to come off your tongue that you want to ask that is going to make you feel comfortable. Because Dr. Kennedy is always going to give you a pragmatic answer.
It's never what makes me feel good about what we're doing.
And if you don't ask just the right question, you're not going to get that answer that feels like the pat on the back. And so your anxiety grows and you transform into...
Yep. My German Shepherd.
Cute.
So now I'm just hanging out.
Wow.
But I gotta roll for that, don't I? Or are you just gonna do it to me?
Well, I love how it says uncontrolled shape-shifting as limitation, and then has a roll, and then if you get a 15 plus, then I'll let you. Then you can maintain it.
So it's just a 0 roll.
Why not? Roll plus willpower.
Oh no. Okay. Okay, fine. Be that way. Oh, 8.
That is not
Wow,
better than
you're
that is.
you're very much a dog.
I win.
You are
You
a
are
dog.
Doge.
Okay.
She's a good girl.
I mean,
Yes.
the German Shepherd.
Girl.
The
She's a
GM
good
takes
girl.
control of your character until it wears off at most one full scene after your transformation.
Oh my gosh!
So I'm just a dog now. And Curtis gets to do with my dog body as he pleases for a scene.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's not how I meant it.
She goes over and squats in the corner and pees and marks
Yeah.
like the columns, like
Just
Mm.
keep
All
it
over.
away. Keep it away from the circle.
I might do
This
some
is
things
why.
I might do some things for fun, but I'll let you fight if you need to in your dog form.
Oh, thank you.
Just because that's more fun for you.
I know German.
So you all see this exchange between Joel and Dr. Kennedy. Joel seems to have just this moment of panic. You have seen it in her face before, and then bloop into the dog form she goes. Dr. Kennedy, you're just going to continue through with all of your drawings until you reach your conclusion. Does anybody do anything else while he's drawing his symbols?
I mean, I guess I'll come meander in the circle until I have to go back out and get the guy.
Yeah, Blythe will. Am I muted? No. Blythe will step her little toes in the circle to make sure that she can get in.
should the guy not just be in the circle?
He's in the manacles.
Yeah, but does he have to be? Ernie?
The ritual says that his blood needs to be used, so I don't suppose it's necessary that he be in the circle.
Well, I think it's smarter if he is, because if he's not, and they get to him, then the ritual is a lot more difficult.
Of course. I was just trying to keep him out of my hair until I needed him.
Fair.
Hold on.
Then-
I can get him. I'll
Well, if nothing else,
Tie him
we need to run protection and make sure that he stays alive. Right?
Harvey kinda
Because it's the
looks
life force. It's
between-
not just the blood, it's the life force.
Correct.
I'll look between the two of you and then nod and go back over.
Dem trains!
Is there anything I can help you with? Do you have
Not unless you suddenly
pictures?
have a wealth of knowledge regarding ritualistic symbols.
She rolls her eyes. You didn't bring like a picture book or anything?
Just the pictures that are in the book itself.
Well, can I not just copy those?
Do you know where they need to go?
I'm sure you could tell me.
Just let me finish. I'm almost done.
Heard that once or twice.
That's what she said.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay, so you get all of the drawings done on the floor as prescribed by the book. And now comes the time that you have to spill the blood.
Sasha, do you want to do the honors? You seem to have a particularly violent desire to see this one gone.
It doesn't matter.
Good. Mr. Winston.
Yeah. Yeah. And Harvey will go over, unshackle the guy who he's been staring at this whole time, trying to figure out why Sasha is so inclined towards him. And he'll walk up with him thrown over his shoulder and set him in the center.
I was going to ask Miss Watson for her knife, but she appears to be indisposed. Sasha?
Sasha makes his way down the stairs. Somewhere special? Does it matter, Ernie?
Not particularly. The important pieces are all here. Cut that bitch.
He sticks
Or
out.
give me the knife, and I'll cut that bitch.
He doesn't pull out a knife. He takes his index finger and plunges it into the throat as he's staring this man straight in the eyes. And a spray of blood hits him up the side of his face. And he's just holding his hair, watching the life leave his body.
Pork.
And that's Joel in the background barking.
Get him! Get him!
You can see it happen as you watch him bleed and bleed and bleed. And it's just that panic is in his eyes until the moment that it just sort of stops being panic anymore, even though the physical expression doesn't change a whole lot. It changes just enough, and the spark is no longer there.
As soon as I know he's dead, I look at Harvey. I'm okay.
Good?
Yeah, I'm okay. And I turn and I walk and I go back up the steps, kind of flanking Joel, waiting, anticipating someone or something coming through that door.
Of course, I've been doing all the chanting and whatnot as well.
The blood starts to seep into the stone floor as if there were cracks there that you hadn't seen. It moves rather quickly. The runes that you carved under the floor with your colored chalk start to glow. I need you to roll plus soul for ritual, please.
I'm a soul man.
Barely.
It is somewhat better than a 9.
Just barely.
But it is better than a 9.
Just better than a 9.
Yeah, that's good. Anything better than a 9 basically is going to give him all of the results he needs to make sure that the ritual works. And you start to see it, Dr. Kennedy. It's actually like a tear in the floor right in the center of that circle that you're in. However, if you continue to stand there, it's as if you're standing on glass, and this void opens beneath you. And you think you see stars, maybe a planet, maybe they're rotating. Lots of different things start to cloud your mind, visions of concepts and images that are theories to a man of your intelligence, but even some ideas are beyond that if what you just saw was right. But it all is happening fast, almost like a bad acid trip. But you start to feel yourself become one with the building around you. And then you hear this pounding sound, this boom, boom, and there's this feeling in the back of your mind as though all of this, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose this, whatever this is, this tie that you have with this power. All of the other people in the room, you hear boom, 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 and realize that somebody is banging the hell out of the door.
I
want to do something, but can I?
What do you want to do?
I want to go like push against it, like get back up on the haunches and like hold the door shut.
Well, I would tell you this. One, you're a dog. And while you're a big one, you don't really have the torque, perhaps, that you might think you need to hold a door. I'm just thinking in my head. I'm not sure if that works.
I don't have control right now.
And the second thing is there has to be some sort of protection happening, because that door wasn't latched. It was some old thick door. All they had to do was reach down and turn the handle and it should open, and that's not happening for them. So there is some sort of protection in that sense happening. They are being slowed at the door. They're having to tear through this door.
Okay.
I rolled for my improviser advantage.
All right.
I got 1 edge, and I would like to set a trap that gives you a surprise advantage.
Okay.
So I basically want to like dart back over to the table using my super speed and grab a bunch of like sharp objects and come back and like kind of lay them like caltrops at the door, for them to kind of, if anyone comes in, they step on a bunch of knives.
Okay. Anybody else gonna make a move?
And then I'll hide to the side and wait for it.
Just waiting.
Yeah, I'd say if Curtis will allow, back up and just kind of wait in my spot.
Yeah. Just waiting. Wings out. Ready.
Since I'm stuck in doggy form. My silly collar on.
Doggy style.
Wow.
The doctor continues his chant. It probably raises his voice level just a little bit because of his heightened awareness, and some anxiety begins to creep in as he knows that now he has to rely on you guys. As you start to hear the door splinter, and it is Morten that comes crashing through the door. Where my big dramatic music went, it didn't come up. God damn it. Anyways, dun dun dun.
As soon as he comes through, I want to use my abilities. I guess it'd be part of my quick ability. I want to just rush forward and tackle him and slam him into the other side.
Well, did he step on the knives and the shit you set out? Does that do anything?
Probably. That'll give me a +2 to my next attack against him.
The trap does give you the +2. Yeah, it doesn't actually do any harm. It comes through and it technically does some harm, but this, he was big to begin with. And as he has crashed through the door, you see that his human form is starting to give way. But as you have learned in dealing with some of these creatures that you have come across, that it doesn't always come with just a simple transformation. And as his figure gives way, it is actually because it's tearing from his body as he pulls himself through the shards of the door. Hunks of skin and flesh start to tear, and you see the hard exoskeleton, translucent colored Asgul shape beneath him. And he does take some distraction damage, whatever it is. He has to deal with somebody put a bunch of shit on the floor. And then, Harvey, that would give you a +2 to an attack.
Yeah, I want to use my quick ability and attack with the speed of lightning on that. Can I add the +2 to that ability? It's a reflex roll. Does it work like that?
Yes. What kind of an attack are you going to do?
I'm just going to use my impossible quickness and super strength to leap over the trap I made and full on football tackle him into the wall.
Oh, okay. At the wall all the way to this side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
Very good. So that's, exactly what you see is Harvey, much like Superman, just like a bullet shoots and smashes him up against the wall. The wall sort of cracks around him. It doesn't really give in a whole lot. It's a very strong wall, but
I don't know if you're willing to let me do anything else.
What?
Well, I've got
It says with my unnaturally strong ability, once I've locked someone in unarmed combat, I can choose the crush option.
Right.
So if the GM allows, I would like to, once I slam him, I just try to crush his head against the wall. If I can lock him is the thing. I was hoping the surprise attack would allow me to.
Yeah, basically, you can do all of that as part of the move, and what I will allow you to do is I'll give you an extra harm, because with your hand-to-hand combat and movement, you basically only get 1, but because of your super strength, I'm going to double that up and give you 2, and then with your little bonus move and all the whole quick, and just for the beautification of the whole move, that will do 3 damage. So you do all that. It doesn't really kind of work like a series of moves in D&D. What it does is it just changes the amount of damage you do. So you're doing more damage. So Harvey unleashes on this Asgul and smashes him up against the wall and starts to pound its head into the wall. Sasha, you were going to do something?
I still have one edge left over from my quick earlier. I am also going to attack with the speed of lightning. And Sasha sees Harvey grab him and slam his head into the wall. And Sasha makes a quick move over there and with both hands comes down across his side. And since it is attack with the speed of lightning, they do not get a chance to avoid harm. And with my claws, the Asgul will take 3 harm. And so I just dig both claws into the side and just try to rip a chunk of that exoskeleton off.
Nice. You do. You can get into some of the cracks in between the different sections, much like you would the different plates on an insect. And as you pull it's like fastened with this substance of goo, and it stretches, and you can kind of pull it out, and a piece breaks off, and it's kind of got the consistency of glass, but it's a different type of brittle. And it looks like it's almost been glued on. The muscles and the veins and the organs are all exposed from the piece that you break off. And you guys are doing some serious damage to this. Joel, as you see your friends have tore into this creature and seem to be holding their own pretty well, you notice in the doorway that Kat, I don't have a very good picture for Kat, so I used this generic roguish looking token, is there with it looks like a rifle or a machine gun of some sort.
Oh god.
An assault weapon.
Okay. I want to use rage. So I lose 1 stability and I unleash my inner rage. So there's not that button. That was wrong. So now I'm in shaken. But I get 1 rage point. Oh god, so much scrolling. Okay, so I'm gonna take brutal assault. I take 1 harm to your attack, so +1 harm. And I would like to pounce up on her and go to town, if I may. So I need to roll violence. Yeah. Main goal is to get the gun out of her hands and then, get some good in there too. That's a 14. Right.
A 14.
A 14.
On your engage in combat. Absolutely. So you do exactly that. Now you said you take an extra harm if any damage befalls you, because you do take the gun and you take her down with it. You actually do some serious damage to her with your claws. You knock the gun away, but you take a bullet to the shoulder.
Okay. Boop.
As you go down, Blythe.
Yes. As soon as I hear that bullet, I'm over with Joel, and I want to use my big girl strength.
Yeah.
And Joel, how are you positioned on Kat?
I'm probably on top of her. I'm pounced on top.
Okay.
I'm a dog. So that's probably about the only way I can really kind of.
She's pinned on the ground.
Yeah, pinned down. She's got claws in Kat's shoulders, and I'm even gonna let her have a couple of nips at her, so she's gotten a couple of bites. She's not tearing out her throat or anything like that, but because she just took a bullet. Yeah, but she's gotten a bite on her, and her claws are sunk into her, pinned to the floor.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get on the other side, like if Joel's facing this way, I'll face this way, and I'm gonna grab Kat's head and just fucking bash it into the ground.
Which you can do very quickly if you use your ethereal form and shift yourself into a mist and then shoot in there and come back to whole form with head in hand. Is that what you're doing? And smashing?
Yep. That's it.
That's brutal. I love it.
Yeah. Do I have to roll for that?
No, you
Cool.
give me the engaging combat roll. So
no.
give me a roll plus violence.
No.
That's never good.
Oh, honey.
It's difficult to mess this particular roll up. I mean,
when you've got a -2.
I do have a -2.
hey,
Oh,
there you
not
go.
bad.
Good job.
Not
See,
bad.
you guys are
All
doing
right.
good tonight. I have all the faith in the world in all of your rolls tonight. It's a trend. So with the 13, you definitely do the damage. There is a bit of a cost. However, you don't exactly know what that cost is at this particular moment.
Oh, no.
But yeah, you go over, and between the four of you have sort of tore into this. I don't assume Harvey or Sasha, do you have a big follow-up move to your current plan of attack? You guys have got him pinned against the wall and are tearing. He is trying to gather himself because of Harvey's quick and your quick. He's about to start making a move, but I'm just kind of curious as to where your head is with this.
Sasha's going to stay on him until he's in pieces.
Same.
Okay. So what happens is, as you guys are tearing into him, Harvey, I need you to avoid harm as his very hard, lanky arm swings out as he is trying to now cast the both of you off of him.
Can I instead use one of my other quick edges for immediate interrupt and act before someone else completes their action?
Yeah, Sasha, I'm going to make you do the same thing because he's doing the other arm is coming at you as well.
Yeah, I see that coming and use one of my other edges, leaving me with one more edge because I rolled a 20.
So you can
back up out of the way.
You can dodge that arm that comes for you, I suppose, then.
But dodging it, I also lose grip of him, and I'm not on him anymore.
Okay.
I got a 14, so I avoid the worst of it, but you decide. If I'm in a bad spot, I lose something or I sustain harm.
Right. You don't take any harm, but he does toss you back over to the opposite wall. Kind of throws you across the room, knocks the wind out of you. Might change up your strategy for that particular moment. Joel, you feel a knife blade in your side, and as you look down, you realize that one of Kat's free hand has pulled a blade from somewhere, and she has stuck it into your side.
Another injury.
Yeah, with the gunshot and that one.
It puts me at 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Does she pull it out or does she leave the knife in?
No, she's very dramatic about it. She sticks it in and goes to look directly into your eyes and grit her teeth as she then begins to twist it.
I'd like to use Deadly Stare.
Ooh.
I would like to try and use Deadly Stare.
Yeah.
Which is a violence roll.
I don't think we've done a Deadly Stare, and it's a violence roll. That makes it even more exciting.
It's a violence roll for me.
This is one of your advantages.
Yup. And it is a 2. Is that mine? Yep, that's a 20. So she freezes up and she's unable to take any actions until I break on contact. I also get +2 ongoing against her. So then I would like to bite that face.
We just gotta get her unconscious, Joel.
The stare, that pretty much does render her unconscious, only in a much worse way, because she's not literally unconscious. She does freeze, but she is well aware when Joel, in her large German Shepherd form, begins to just rip Kat's throat out. And when this begins to happen, Morten loses his focus from Harvey and Sasha and lets out a scream of something, an ungodly screech of a noise that makes you want to put your hands to your ears. Dr. Kennedy, you almost lose focus as you feel the end of the ritual beginning to near. And Sasha, you see Morten pick up his bloody mess of what's left, and he races in to where Kat is and collects her body from the floor. Comes back into the temple proper. Looks down at where Dr. Kennedy is performing the ritual, and then runs and stops just short of the edge of the protective circle. And he pulls Kat over in front of him, and then with one of his claws reaches up and cuts a gash in her throat that leaks blood out onto the protective circle, and it starts to eat away at the floor as if it was an acid. And Morten and Kat step into this melted spot on the floor and disappear into the floor, and it closes up solid behind them.
So they don't enter the circle. They're gone. They've disappeared from the room.
Correct.
Are they? Okay. I don't like them. I don't like that.
I hate it. I hate it. Take it
Any
back.
way to see if they're still here? Can I do any rolls for that?
Can I do my ethereal and see if I can follow them through the floor?
You can.
Hell
with
yeah,
with
brother.
your ethereal, you pass through some different levels of floor stonework. It's like what you would maybe assume is like trying to just cut through a pyramid or something, with just chambers and rooms and tunnels and halls, and none of it seems to really make any sense at all. And you realize that who knows where they could have possibly gone, if they're even in these particular things. And if you don't find your way back relatively soon, you could find yourself lost amidst all of this mess.
She'll probably go back up then once she realizes that it's not making any sense. So just fly right back up.
Dr. Kennedy, there's no real climactic end to your ritual other than the sensation as you feel yourself become more and more attuned to the literal building around you. Dr. Kennedy will now be, well, I already said that he's bound to Malkuth's temple and is the leader of the Flak Chatters, officially a cult of Malkuth, however you want to say it. Complete knowledge and awakening for you now is literally only a matter of time, notwithstanding events that are yet to play out over the next 4 episodes. I would like for you, Dr. Kennedy, to tell us your end as it relates to your current situation. You will have the ability, if you're curious as to what this means for you and the temple, you are able to attach the building to your lab by a single door. You can literally meld the two through your world. You can make it whatever you want. Your imagination is literally your only limits for the most part. You will have a legion of lore seekers to help fill in the blanks based on your priorities and your agenda. You have more books, scrolls, and parchments to read than you have time to read them in. Much of what you will learn will have to be through trial and experimentation just to try to compact as much in as possible. So I'm curious as to how. Now, I know there are some specific adventures that are still on the table, but in general terms of your overall ambitions, that once those adventures are complete, how does Dr. Kennedy finish out his time?
Well, his time is virtually infinite now, so he's gonna take that time and keep reading, keep learning, keep sending people on fact-finding missions to various different universes. And the eventual goal, of course, is to tear down the illusion entirely. Restore divinity, not just to myself and my friends, but to all of humanity.
Those are ambitious goals. I like that. I thought it might either go that direction, or you would be like, all right, now I'm going to go find a cabin in Montana and fly fish.
He's never been a fisherman.
That sounds way better.
Staying on the edge of it all is absolutely fantastic. And that's where this particular story is going to... Well, nope. Hang on a second. You have all of this power available to you now, Dr. Kennedy, and all of you will have this source of information and influence available to you on your missions. Joel, the next day, as things start to settle down, Jared visits you with a brown paper wrapped package tied with twine, old school, and says this delivery came for you.
From who? Right. Thanks.
Joel, you still ask questions like that. Even if I saw the person who brought it, apparently it was just a delivery boy. I don't know that I would trust anything about that particular delivery boy.
What can I say, Jared? Old habits die hard.
Indeed.
Thank you. And she
You're
kicks the
very
door closed
welcome.
in his face. And then she takes it back inside. She sits down at the table and she takes out her knife and she cuts the string on it and starts opening it.
The brown paper reveals a standard brown cardboard box. It's about, like the size of, I don't know, a baseball might be in it or something. It's not very big at all. When you open the brown cardboard box, there's some bubble wrap inside, and in the middle of the bubble wrap is like what looks to be a jewelry box, a hinged jewelry box, a little bit thick. It could be maybe a bracelet size, perhaps. On the top surface of the outside of the box, on the lid, if you will, is a silver inlaid symbol of Malkuth.
Great. And she pops it open.
It is a silk-lined pillowed box, much like a jewelry box would be, except instead of any jewelry, there are 2 small vials of blood. Each vial is corked, and there is a tag tied to each by what looks like some thick red thread. One tag reads Enoch, Enoch. The other tag reads Enon, Enon. When you read those names in your head, are you the type of person who might read them aloud?
No, she'd read those silently.
When you read them in your head, the demon images of your hitmen appear, and they see you, and they have you on the top of this huge pyramid-shaped skyscraper of some sort, and you are strapped to a table, a torture table of some sort. There's blood from somebody already spilled around you, and you can feel the wet stickiness from it on your back. And both of them turn and look at you in shock that you are on the table in front of them. And they both smile this big toothy grin. And that's where we're going to end.
Damn it.
Suspense.
I really wanted that jewelry box to have a little tag in it that says, "If lost, please call Malkuth." and then have rabies vaccine.
Nice. He's so great, Sasha. He's such a loving soul.
Going to Iron Maiden concerts and making sassy gifts.
Yes.
Oh God.
That was a good episode. That was a good little episode.
Oh my God.
I love it. Well, thank you, players. Thank you for coming and playing this wonderful game with me. We're not going to let go of these characters just yet. Let's go around the table and get a quick reaction. Any plugs or shout outs that you have for whatever's going on in your world, real or otherwise. And we will go in opposite order than what we did at the front. And I think that means we will start with Harvey.
Hello, I'm Jaylee, aka Harvey Winston. You can find me on Twitter and the Discord at Jahoy_Métis. I'm really glad that we're doing little epilogue episodes. It's a guilty pleasure of mine to. I just want to see what they're going after. All of the craziness, and it's cool to get to use our powers some more. So love this game. Love you guys. Lots of fun.
Excellent. So then we will pass the ball down to Joel, who I was somehow I was going to get you in dog form tonight for sure.
I was going to do it on my own, and then you just came in and you're like, stick with it.
I know. I thought you probably would, but I wanted to push it. So
See, No bang bangs tonight. Just growling and good girls.
You did great. I
Just
love
throat
it.
rips.
There was
Just
some
throat rips.
great images for sure.
Hey everybody, my name is Erica. You can find me on most social medias at EricaInMore97. I'm also the community manager here at TTRP Theater. So join our Discord. Throw that in there for Izzy since he's not here. Join our Discord. Come hang out with us. We're about to do a reset. I think the whole thing's gonna explode. And if you haven't already, follow us on all the social medias, like the Twitters and the Instagrams. We don't have Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Maybe we'll have an Instagram someday.
Yeah, by decree of our vice president of Discord marketing, we have to plug the Discord. I love that. Yeah. It's fabulous. He just kind of took that up. I was like, I've told him all along, Izzy, we've always said it. He's like, I know, but now it's mine. Okay. Yeah, there he is. Oh, and he knows we're talking about him. Yeah, we mentioned it.
I did it. Calm down.
Joel, yeah, Erica did it. And then we will move across to tonight's hero for tonight's story, Dr. Kennedy, who now is the ruler.
I thought you were gonna like fake me out there for a second. The hero of tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Sasha.
No.
Blythe. Blythe is the hero.
You're our hero tonight.
My name is Chris Stone Cypher. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Stone Cypher. You can find my cat, Mew Jackman, at The Greatest Meowman on Instagram. I still don't have a name for his new sister, who may or may not be pregnant yet, so we'll see.
We need to find that out. Will you please take her to get a CAT scan?
Calm down, Cinnamon Rolls Royce.
Yes.
So funny.
That's great.
Oh
my god.
I very much enjoy this game. I like that we know a little bit more about where Dr. Ernest Kennedy is going to be spending his coming weeks and months and potentially years, unless somehow he dies or something.
He apparently has no fears at all, so that's cool. Hey, after you spend 100 years in hell, what else could possibly be thrown at you, right?
1,000 years?
10,000 years?
Outstanding.
It does give you such a crick in the neck.
Did you plug Mew Jackman?
I did.
Okay.
He's got a terrible agent, but...
Well, I did see that Binks made an appearance tonight as well, so I guess we'll use that as an avenue to segue over to Blythe, our angel.
Yes, hello. I am Krista, and I play Blythe. You can catch me on the Instagram at Krista the Barista. You can also catch my cat on the Instagram as well. Binks the Black Cat. Yeah, tonight was fun. I feel like Blythe was up to her usual shenanigans and was only a little bit of help.
That's all right.
You're always help.
I am excited to see you lead the charge to take back your Park Avenue apartment. I just think that is going to be so awesome.
Be awesome. I like that she sleeps like a bat now.
Yeah.
I do too.
Sleeps like a bat.
Yes.
It's like a thing. She's like trying to do all these bird things.
Out of the blue, Krista comes up with some canon. It's beautiful.
Some winged beast.
I do have a note here to a special shout out for your face paint, which looks extraordinary tonight.
Thank you.
Congrats. I love it every time. It gets better and better.
Get up in here.
Yeah, this one is wildly impressive. They're always cool, but this one is wildly impressive.
Yeah, it is. Very cool. All right. So then, did you plug Binks the Black Cat?
I sure did. And here he is, the man of the hour.
Yes, Binks. Get an agent. Talk to Mew. He knows somebody who knows somebody. And then that leaves us with Sasha.
Hi. I'm Duke. I play Sasha. and I really don't want to stop playing Sasha, but stories have to come to ends. But I am excited that we get to do these episodes together, and I'm excited for Long Strange Trip and how weird and different that one's going to be. I am the creative director here at TTRP Theater. We've had a couple of weeks without some of our shows as we've gotten into the holidays, but here in the next couple weeks, once this time of year is over, everything's going to kick back up again. So stick with us, check it out, all kinds of fun stuff. Pathfinder, D&D 5e, Prowlers and Paragons, KULT. I'm excited to see everybody come back from the break. I'm excited to see all the shows get going again. I'm at Invisible Duke on Twitter and Instagram. You can check me out there. Really, the best place to find us, all of us, is in the Discord server. So come do that. We're silly and talk a bunch of shit
all the time. So yeah, I cannot wait for next week when we have to go rescue JoJo from the demons that she's killed multiple times, and they just keep coming back, and now they have her in their clutches because she forgot to get a rabies vaccine.
Oh, she gonna be so fucking mad.
So unfortunate. Yeah. Well, thank you all again for coming and playing. I love KULT Friday nights with you guys. Thanks again to Helmgast for a fantastic game. We love this game. We are all diehard fans now. Check out KULTDivinityLost.com if you are interested in playing this game for yourself. That's a good place to start. Thanks also to Roll20 for being our virtual tabletop. I say this every time. They've got the character sheets for both the 3rd edition, if you like the old school KULT game, as well as sheets for 4th edition Divinity Lost, which we play. Also, I want to give a huge thank you to COAG, co.ag, for giving me a huge new selection of background music. You can find them on YouTube. Just search, I think it's COAG, but it's capital C, capital O, capital A, capital G. But they're down below in the music credits here on our Twitch channel. So if you're curious, check them out on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page while you're there checking them out and subscribe. It's free and it helps more KULT fans and roleplay fans like you find KULT fans and roleplay fans like us. It really, really is how we are advancing through these first stages of our little hobby here with this mess. So go do that and tell your friends to go do that. It's free and it's really easy to do. Like and follow on Facebook and Twitter. The others mentioned that. And please join us on Discord server. Links to all of those are down below. If you would like to help us keep doing this, the best way is through word of mouth and always be watching. If you want to help get in on the build, visit our Patreon. You can help keep these stories and new, even more exciting Tales of the Dice coming for as little as $1 a month. Our goal has always been story first at TTRP, stories that are appealing and almost even more importantly, interesting characters that change and develop with the story that unfolds. All of our game masters and players in all of the games that we've done have done a fantastic job executing that mission during our startup season. We've made some mistakes along the way and have learned so much through the support of our community, our Patreons and publishers who aren't afraid to work with talents, the startups like us, specifically Helmgast and Magpie Games. Thanks and much love to all of you. I hope that all of the new stuff that we have in production right now for 2020 show you just how far we've come. Tonight is the last production of our startup season, which includes a few productions that fell victim to one of the things that gamers like us deal with all the time, real life. We all know it. It is the burden of being a gamer. We get characters that we fall in love with. We get some sessions in, and then shit happens. and suddenly we don't get to play those beautiful people anymore, and we hold on to them and hope that maybe we get to pull them out again in some other campaign sometime in the future. I want to thank the players and the game masters, some who are not currently in production with TTRP right now, and several that are in current productions with us, who were all part of the shows that helped build TTRP and get us ready to launch our next season, but are no longer live. And they include Greyhawk City, Shadows of the Gem, Princes of the Apocalypse, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, The Spotlight, one of my favorites, Adventure with Advantage, Night of the Black Sun, and The Curse of Strahd. All of these episodes, except for The Spotlight, are archived on our YouTube page. There are some really great moments in those episodes. They are not complete campaigns, and like Princes of the Apocalypse, there's only 2 of them, but in those 2 episodes there are some really unique gem moments of game and role play. So if you get a chance and you have no more TTRP to watch, go hunt those down. So thanks to all of those people who participated in those games. Next week, our Winter-Spring 2020 season begins on KULT Friday with number 2 of our Enlightened episodes, titled Joel Lex Talionis.
Oh, God.
Yeah, now everybody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to have to go look up my Latin. In the weeks that follow, we present the return of D and DDT, Domains of Dread by Heel Turn Radio, Renaissance City, a Prowlers and Paragons game mastered by our very own Invisible Duke. Also returning soon, DM Beth and Mist Fortune in A Land of Dark Dreams, Scald's Tale Eclipse, a Pathfinder 2e game by rondocreator.com, and Friday Night KULT will transition in a few weeks into our next story, Long Strange Trip 72. For spring-summer 2020, we plan on continuing all of those stories, fingers crossed, and adding an Urban Shadows campaign, and we are in pre-production with games including Root, Masks, and Dungeon World. We have had a pretty good first year, and I am very excited about our next one. To wrap up, I'd like to give our final shout-out of the year to each of you, the ones who watch, the ones who help pay the bills, the ones who help create, and the ones who help perform, and all of you who support independent creative work. This is a new format of storytelling and performance, and your support, whether it's eyeballs or tweets or the money that we desperately need, thank you. Thank you for watching. From all of us here at the theater to all of you, good night, sweet dreams, and we love you.
Good night, sweet dreams. We love you.
Thank you, Curtis. You're amazing.
Oh, I love you guys.
Follow the Discord.
Titties, 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 titties.